If you get elbow pain while training your biceps and you are currently doing a lot of traditional bicep exercises like barbell curls, then your problem is actually very common. Most of the traditional bicep exercises like barbell curls, people tend to do with their elbows tucked and their hands fully supinated throughout the whole movement. The thing is that this kind of movement pattern is completely unnatural for your joints, and your joints don't really like to move in unnatural positions. So an easy way around this is to actually just start doing movements that actually allow your joints to move in a way that they were actually designed to move. But an easy way to think about this is to actually just think about how you would move your arms if you had no weight in your hands. Now, if you do this, what you will realize is that your forearms will actually move back and forth in a neutral and not in a supinated hand position. And what you will also notice is that your elbows will not be tucked to your side, but they will have a natural flare to them. Now, the problem with that is that if you did a bicep curl in a completely neutral hand position, then that would involve too much of your brachioradialis, one of your forearm muscles, perhaps to the expense of the biceps. So you do want some supination during a bicep curl. So the big question is, how can you create the same level of comfort while using a supinated position as you would have while using a neutral hand position? Basically, what you want to do is find a body position that allows you to have that natural flare of your elbows out to the side, as opposed to having them tucked in to your sides. Now, when you do this, your forearms will actually have an in and out type movement pattern, and they won't just be moving in a back and forth fashion. It actually helps to remember this simple rule of thumb. You want your thumb to be moving towards the inner corner of your shoulder and not away from it. When you're using a supinated grip, your thumb is actually moving away from the inner corner of your shoulder. When you're using a dumbbell curl, for example, that is making use of this in and out type movement pattern, then it moves towards the inner corner of your shoulder, just as the same way as it would if you used a neutral hand position during a bicep curl. If you're using a straight barbell, you won't be able to do this very effectively because the barbell forces your hands into a supinated position. An easy bar is already a step up because they have that natural curvature to the barbell, but dumbbells would be more ideal. Ideally, you would be also having this in and out movement pattern when you're doing a preacher curl. However, because of the logistics of the preacher station, that is just not possible. So you will have to use a unilateral movement here as well, and you will be twisting your body slightly to the side. And so hopefully with these tips, you will be able to continue training your biceps without messing up your elbows. If you found this informative, you might want to consider subscribing. And if you just can't get enough of these amazing tips, you might even want to check out my book, a book on designing awesome training splits. Links in the description.